in 2007, the end of 2007. In prior editions of the Book of Mormon, in the introduction page, this sentence appears: "After thousands of years, all were destroyed except the Lamanites, and they are the principal ancestors of the American Indians." Now, this title page was never a part of the actual Book of Mormon's, the gold plates, though this is not part of that history. This was actually written by Elder Bruce R. McConkie back in 1981. And then, and this page was changed, or is being changed now. In new editions, it comes out, and it's being changed from saying they were the principal ancestors of the American Indians to now it states this: that all were destroyed except the Lamanites, and they are among the ancestors of the American Indians, which actually just clarifies what has already pretty much been understood, and that is that Lehi and his family and their group were not the only ones here in the Americas during this time frame. In 2003, an article came out in Evolutionary Anthropology that really is an important article. In this article, it claims that though presently thought to be most common among speakers of Algonquin languages, haplogroup X, which reaches a frequency of 20%, in fact, in some cases is over 50% in some Algonquin populations, it is also, this haplogroup X is geographically widespread throughout North America, among groups sharing no close historic or linguistic ties. This is very important because this means that this lineage has had time to diversify into a lot of different people, and which means that it was here a long time ago. The American Journal of Human Genetics, this is one area where those who were trying to discredit the Book of Mormon said, well, what happened was there was one article, this American Journal of Human Genetics, that came out and said, well, we found haplogroup X among people over in Asia. And so, therefore, it didn't require another idea of how this haplogroup X may have arrived in America. To extend the survey of Asian mitochondrial DNAs for the presence of haplogroup X, we screened the mitochondrial DNAs of a total of 790 individuals for the markers that define this lineage. Haplogroup X mitochondrial DNAs were detected only in the altanes at a frequency of 3.5%. So they found it in the altanes. And some have tried to say, well, then there it is. There's your answer to how haplogroup X arrived in the Americas. But they don't take a look at the rest of the article, which says this: it should also be noted that none of the altane X mitochondrial DNA harbor this particular variant or another variant which is part of haplogroup X. However, the X mitochondrial DNAs that were detected in the altane samples don't bear two other variants that are characteristic of most American Indian haplogroup X mitochondrial DNA, meaning that they are probably not closely related. This is from Annals of Human Genetics, 2001 article. It says several West Eurasian or altane haplogroups, including X, were detected. Alternatively, a relatively recent gene flow mediated by women of European West Asian ancestry could have occurred at the time of the expanding Mongolian Empire. Geneticists are saying that this DNA that was found with haplogroup X in the altanes actually more than likely came from the time of approximately Genghis Khan and the Mongols, about 1206 to 1405 AD, and that they are not, in fact, related to the Native American groups closely. So when geneticists went specifically searching for this haplogroup X, I was very interested to see what they would find in Central and South America. This is according to the American Journal of Physical Anthropology 2005 article. The article is titled, "Is haplogroup X present in extant, meaning present day, South American Indians?" Now this does include Central America from the latitude that they were using in South. The total of 1,159 mitochondrial DNA samples from 25 South Native American populations was surveyed for the presence of the mutations frequently found in haplogroup X. The results indicate that haplogroup X is not present in these samples. Wait a minute. If the Book of Mormon occurred in Central America, why would we not have some evidence for this haplogroup X if this was, in fact, related to the Book of Mormon, which we don't know at this point whether it was or not. Up to now, among extant populations, X has only been found in North America. And then this other article came out in Hispanic American Historical Review, 2005. It's called Genetics and the History of Latin America. This is a table from that article. You can see the columns A, B, C, D, and X along the top. And down the left-hand side, you can see different groups of populations that have been sequenced. Two of these are the ancient Mayans and the contemporary Mayans, who are thought to be the source population of the Book of Mormon people. It was the Mayans, they think, that may have been related to the Book of Mormon. In this article, it clearly indicates that the Mayan people were primarily haplogroup A and then a little bit of haplogroup C, but neither the ancient Mayans nor contemporary Mayans have any evidence for haplogroup X. Many have speculated that if the Book of Mormon occurred in Central America, that then those people ultimately migrated up through Mexico and into southwest United States, and then up into the Camorra area where the plates were actually recovered. Genetically, this is what has been found. American Journal of Physical Anthropology, this is a 2003 article, Native American Mitochondrial DNA Prehistory in the American Southwest. We find no evidence of a movement of mitochondrial DNA lineages northward into the southwest from central Mexico. The spread of Uto-Aztecan was not the result of a population expansion northward caused by the development of maize cultivation in Mesoamerica. A population expansion caused by the development of agriculture would have likely involved the movement of women, because it was typically the women that would take care of the crops while the men would go out and hunt. And so this was very interesting because there's genetically no evidence for a movement of people from Central America up into North America, and Joseph Smith clearly indicated North American Indians as being of the lineage of the House of Israel. And not only Joseph Smith, but the Lord did in the Doctrine and Covenants, and calling them Lamanites. This seemed to be a pretty drastic problem with this whole controversy about no DNA evidence for the Book of Mormon in Central America, or really, it was thought anywhere in the Americas at the time. And so we have LDS scholars who then took on the responsibility of answering the critics of the church, and they did a wonderful job. These are the primary explanations from LDS scholars of why no DNA evidence has been found so far in Mesoamerica that supports the claims of the Book of Mormon. I just wanted to point out that these explanations typically fall in one of three categories, and I'm going to go through those categories here pretty quickly. There are legitimate reasons why we would not find genetic evidence for the Book of Mormon in Mesoamerica or any other location in the Americas for that matter. Number one, we don't know what we're looking for specifically because we don't have a sample of DNA from Lehi or Sariah or Ishmael, his wife. So we really don't know much about their lineage. If we don't know what we're looking for, certainly it's going to be very hard to find it. While it is true that we don't have an actual DNA sample, we do know quite a bit about the lineages of Lehi and Sariah. For example, we know, again, that Lehi was of the tribe of Manasseh, and we know that Ishmael was of the tribe of Ephraim, which is also interesting because that means we have Ephraim and Manasseh actually in Lehi's group coming to the Americas. The second reason is because Lehi's group was a small group. If they landed here in an ocean of Asian population, and they were a small European population, then they were literally this genetic drop in the proverbial bucket of ancient Native American DNA lineages, and essentially could be diluted out of existence. Over time, that small of a group just gets overwhelmed by the DNA of the other group that is here. There was a couple of aspects of this, though, that I was not really comfortable with, and that is that the Book of Mormon, if you go back to the text itself, when the Nephites split away from the Lamanites because the Lamanites were breaking their covenants and attacking the Nephi and his people,